but hello, I hope you can hear me now. Good evening, everyone. I think I'm just so excited and didn't remember to turn on the microphone, but happy to have you all live. We're going to have an exciting time this evening.
Yes.
The missus is looking all spotty this evening.
Yeah, you know, we've got to do our thing sometimes. We've got to, you know, do our things. Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Great. So welcome, guys. We are happy that you're here. We want to ask you to share the broadcast and get people in. You want to give a shout out to anyone?
Yeah. Thank you everyone for being here with us once again. What a joy and a pleasure to see you virtually and to be seen virtually.
Yeah.
And it's always such a blessing and such a joy to have everyone on board. As always, you are such a blessing, but let's not keep this blessing a secret. Let us share it. So do click on that share button on whatever platform you're on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, maybe even copy the link and send it out as a broadcast to whoever.
On Facebook. I think I should
know.
do that. Let me copy the Facebook link.
That will be.
Yeah, I already sent out the YouTube one.
Awesome.
So you go ahead. Let me.
Yeah. So please do
make sure
that.
I'm doing what you are saying.
Okay. Yeah. So copy, share, like, but as well as that, let us know who's in with us today, this evening, this wonderful, glorious evening. Who is here? And please do type a little message. I'm here, or your name and where you are joining us from. And I pray that today would be an absolute blessing to you all.
Amen.
God bless you. Amen.
All right. So it's going to be a very interesting one today. Sorry, I'm just trying to share the Facebook one. Is that what?
No, I'm saying my sports look tried to mess up my.
Oh. Oh, that was very good. What you just did.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I probably copied the clip on when we finish the show.
It could be a meme. How do people make memes even?
I don't know.
Yeah, I have to try and understand that. But anyway, thank you everyone. I'll leave that to the mister, because those that are on Faith Miracle Church, I've got you on my screen. I've got a separate screen today. I was like, do you know what? I need to, be really in tune and in one with my Faith Miracle Church people on Facebook. So I got a screen just for you.
Yeah.
So far, only I've sent a message, but I know there's more people out there. So please do send a message. Let me know who's there, who's on board, and we can be one together with my screen.
Great. Is that a way of taking people away from the other screen?
No, because you've got Pastor's got everybody else on the other screen. I just wanted to make sure that I have
some people.
Yeah.
All right, let me welcome those who are with us online. We see John Yanguba.
Wow.
You're welcome. We see Toraya Roro. We have Glory Uday.
God bless you.
She said, good evening, my pastor and sister Chioma. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Mary Christopher. So I've been looking forward to this all day.
Oh lovely. I hope you got like your hot chocolate or something and your biscuit. You're ready to listen.
There are quite a lot of people that love Talk with the Missus. You remember one sister was telling us about her daughter.
Yeah. She looks forward to it. She's like, have they started? So hopefully she's on board as well.
Yes. So we have Glory there. We have Minister Gideon Nofegara. We have Juliet Sazua from Sweden. Tell us where you're connecting from.
Yeah.
We have Eddie Gubo. We have Mommy Noram. We have Ami Kanu Rose. We have Tina Chipo Jacqueline. People tuning in. Please share the broadcast and just get people in. Today is going to be a very, very exciting and interesting one. And we will be discussing part 2 of our last discussion, which is why do some people struggle to get married? Why do some people struggle to get married. And we promised you the last broadcast that we're going to have a guest with us in this show. So, you know, we reached out to a wonderful woman who is based in New York, and we've asked her to join us in this conversation.
Yeah.
So from Africa and Europe and then New York, and you know, it's a global conversation, like we like to call it.
Yeah.
So everyone can have their say. I think I'll just introduce, maybe I'll let you do the introduction of Mr. Menesa.
Okay, so put me on the spot, but that's okay. We rise. But yeah, so Minister Omenasa is such a blessing, a real blessing, a minister of music, very, very anointed. If you've ever heard her sing or minister, because not, she's gone past singing, she's ministering whenever she you know, graces the altar. And you know, she has a passion for God, a love for God, a love for people. I remember when I spoke with her, had conversations with her a while back, and you can just hear her heart. You can hear her passion in just helping people and ensuring that people are the best that they can be. So I know that today's conversation is gonna be HOTTTTT, can't to infinity, is gonna be hot. So please do put in your comments as well, and it's gonna be a wonderful time. So by God's special grace, all the way in New York City, we've got Minister Omenasa.
All right, so Minister Omenasa is with us. We'd like to welcome you. How you doing? Great. Nice.
Hi, Pastor. Hi, Miss. It's so awesome to see you guys again.
And you.
I like your background, you know. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm trying to be like you. Trying to be all professional.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. So it's going to be a really interesting one today.
Yeah.
We are having the conversation, you know, on the subject, why do some people struggle to get married? And obviously, we like to hear from the audience and those who are online and popping in. But, you know, I think maybe let's give Minister Omenasa, let's throw the first question to her on these, and then we would like, guys, you know how we do it on Talk with the Missus, send in your comments, and then we would obviously have them all on the, we have some of them on the screen, but we would ensure to read as many as possible. So Minister Omenasa, it's an interesting topic, you know, why do some people struggle to get married? Take it away.
First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so grateful. Like that introduction just like made me shed like a little bit of tears, because really like my heart really is for people. And because of this invitation, I have not slept. I work the night shift. And so I got home like at 8, and I knew that because I am so tired, I would end up just going into a coma, and this would not happen. So I have been awake, waiting, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful. So basically, what I'm sharing is from my experiences and from listening to my clients. So I have like my experiences and then my clients as well. So the first reason why one would struggle with getting married, and there are so many, like we have like wanting to have money and this and that, but the truth is the main aspect or the main reason why people struggle to get married or to find a spouse is childhood wounds. You were not healed from the childhood dysfunction. When I say childhood wounds, what do I mean? I'm talking about how they beat you at home. I'm talking about rejection. I'm not talking about how they spanked you. No, I'm talking about how they beat you, reduced you to nothing, told you you would never go to school. You are useless. You are a demon. You are rubbish. I don't even know why I gave birth to you. I am talking about when your aunt touched you where she wasn't supposed to touch you, where your uncle touched you where you weren't supposed to be touched. I am talking about the childhood wounds when your father was not there. He was there, but he was not there. You know, just a very, very confusing relationship. I am talking about you being raised in a home with 2 mothers and 1 father, or 3 mothers, or 1 mother and 20 concubines. That is a dysfunctional background.
Yeah.
So when you are raised with that type of childhood, the number 1 reason that you struggle in getting married is you don't trust anybody. You cannot trust because of those childhood wounds. If my father was not there, then you're not going to be there.
Yeah.
If my mother was abusive, you will be abusive.
Yeah.
Definitely. So this is, so people who were raised in dysfunctional homes have the propensity to catastrophize. They already jump into conclusions without giving it a chance.
Yeah.
And another problem with that is when you haven't healed from your childhood wounds, you look like a wound. So you pretty much attract other wounds. You see, wounds attract scissors.
Yeah.
Wounds attract antiseptic chemicals.
Yeah.
Wounds attract process and time. Basically, wounds attract a headache. It's a catastrophe.
Yeah.
So you start to attract yourself.
Yeah.
And you're going in a perpetual cycle looking for somebody to heal what your father did, looking for somebody to heal what your mother did, but you don't. And the worst thing is when you don't realize that that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because then you just keep jumping from one person to another and you become a hopper, like a grasshopper. You just keep hopping and you don't have a home. You don't have a place to lay your head. You're just hopping and hopping and hopping. And now you're 60 years old. So that's one of the reasons. And another reason is unrealistic expectations. You see, but then again, you have those unrealistic expectations because of your childhood wounds. See, now, if you were raised in a wholesome environment, and mind you, like, I know people, and there are people who were raised in homes that were functional. But you see, when you're exposed at 18 or 19 or 20 to dysfunction, so even though your home was functional, but then you ended up in an environment that was crazy, your roommates were crazy, everybody was crazy, or maybe like some teachers spoke to you like you were a dog and it stuck. I had a principal who told me you are not your father and you would never be like your father. You're nothing like your father. And this was in the 1996, 1997, because my dad was one of the first tele-evangelists in Nigeria on NTA. So my father literally was preaching 5 days a week in the 90s. So that put a lot of pressure on me in school.
Yeah.
So when I didn't make an A and when I didn't make a D, teachers will literally tell me, you're nothing like your father. And do you know that till this day, even as a nursing student, even when I'm calculating medication for patients, I miscalculate because of that fear. You're nothing like your father. You don't know math. Math doesn't know you. And I'm 37 years old. And that's just one sentence out of the millions of sentences that I heard from church members, as a PK, as a pastor's child. Millions of words that I heard from just the cultural difference, me being raised in America, but I'm a Nigerian, being an only child, all of those complexities. I've heard a lot of voices. And in 3 decades, I still hear some of them. So this brings me to when my husband was given a position in London. He was offered a position in London, and he comes and he tells me, and we should be so excited. And I was so excited. And I was like, oh, baby, okay, so when are we leaving? And he looked at me like, oh, well, I'm going to have to go first, honey. Like, I'm going to have to go there and toil the ground and till the soil and, you know, and then get a job and then get this. And then I would send you over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we still being sent?
And because I was sent to boarding school when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why, of course. And I would chase after my father's car when he came to drop food and stuff. I would chase after the car, and the principal told him, do not come back because this child is an absolute mess every time you leave. And so for so many years, I found myself chasing after validation. And so this is now in my 30s.
Yeah.
And my husband gets this big opportunity. He's not going to be paid in Naira. He's not going to be paid in dollars. He will be paid in euros in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord. But I didn't see that.
Yeah.
The moment he said that he was going to send me over, I figured, oh, he's going to leave me. He's going to drop me off and he's going to leave me. And it was a big fight, and I held his neck and I was screaming, and I literally had like PTSD. Like I literally went bonkers. And if you looked at me, you would see that it was fear from yesterday. This is why a lot of people struggle with getting married, because they have unresolved issues and unrealistic expectations. There is no way that he could have traveled with me and we suffer together in a country that we've never lived in. It's not realistic. So there are many people walking around with unrealistic expectations and how he's going to give them money and how she's going to cook from morning till night and there's so many men who just want to get married to their mother. And so they just sit down there waiting on their mother.
Yeah.
And when I got married, it was so horrible at the beginning because I was trying to squeeze my father out of my husband. I mean, I remember the third day of the honeymoon, I packed all my stuff and stood in front of the hotel and I was begging him, please take me home. Please, please. I miss my dad. I miss my dad. And my dad called me and my dad, his name is Omoni. You married Omoni. You did not marry me. Do you hear me? Oh yeah. Go to your husband's house. And it took me years. Years. Because whenever he does something, I will be like, oh my gosh, like dad would have already been done this like 5 years ago. And this man is still trying to figure this out. You know, unrealistic expectations. You can't find. So we have women looking for their fathers, looking for their caregiver or their uncle or whoever took care of them, looking for some perfect person. And we have a lot of men looking for cooks. Women who could be subservient. And that would never happen, especially in this generation. Have you looked at Instagram? I mean, like 18-year-olds are billionaires just selling eyelashes. So good luck with having a woman who's going to be a housewife. It's not in this generation. No. So that's unrealistic. I have many more. So I don't know if you want me to keep going or you can chip in.
I think it's interesting what I think it's interesting what you're saying, because as I hear everything that you're saying, not one of those things is pointed at the other person, and which I think is really important with what you're sharing, because sometimes when we have a problem, we put the torchlight on others, and we don't put it on ourselves. But from what you're sharing, which I agree with, you're not going to overcome your struggle by
getting married
out the issues on others. You would only overcome your struggle by dealing with the issues in yourself. And by the way, you have control over the issues you have control over you. I don't know if you...
No, definitely. I mean, like what you shared, Omanessa, is fantastic, and really, like my husband said, I totally agree with it. I'm likening it to, it's as if you've got a wound on your body anywhere, and then you've got a plaster on the wound, which is the people that you feel are coming to help you overcome the wound. But because you haven't actually dealt or treated with the wound for it to heal, every new person or every new situation is just like a new plaster. But the plasters are not dealing with the wound. You have to let the wound, the internal issue, be fully healed before somebody else can come like that plaster to actually help with the healing process. But there's an internal part that needs to be fully done so that you'll be able to get to the place where the plaster will actually work. So it's a lot of people are having these issues, these personal inside internal struggles, where they're not overcoming it. And like you said, it's like a perpetual cycle. So you're not coming over the issue with Johnny or with Jack or with Lisa or with Linda or with your dad or whoever, but then new people are coming and you're thinking they're the problem. Why do I always get these guys? Why do I always get these girls? But hold on, have you sat back and thought, okay, what is it, like you said, what is it that I'm attracting? Am I attracting these people? Or do I look like there's something around me that shows or says to everyone, target her, or target him? So I think most times, like you said, we don't look at the torch inside. We're so much focused on outside. But like you rightly said, there are so many internal histories that we need to actually make history so that we can move on.
And just before you come in, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, who you are is what determines, what you market. So in essence, whether you know it or not, you are advertising something that you probably don't even know. And it's to some extent is attracting certain kinds of people. It's like if you have a smelly plate of food somewhere, you will attract flies. You don't know where they will come from, but they will just come.
They will find it.
You'll be asking, where are all these flies coming from? But they will come. So it's important then that we deal with ourselves. Some of these things are not our faults. They're not, because you talked about, you're all bringing the environment in which you grew up and all of that. These are things that are thrown at you. And I like the fact that you shared your story, about somebody making a statement about you that you can still see to some extent, occasionally re-echoing in your head. And it affects, some of the decisions you make, some of the moves you make, your ability to trust certain things and all of that. So I think those things play a role. And if we'll really be victorious in what we do and overcome our struggle, then we must look deep in ourselves to see, is there something that I need to change? And I would want to, I'm going to let you jump in, but I want to also encourage our audience, guys, don't be quiet, because you would usually put in your input. So whether it be a question, whether it be a comment, send it in. And very shortly, I'm going to start reading some of the comments that are coming in. Yeah. Omensa, you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Awesome. Like Mrs. was saying, another thing is a wound has to be dry for the plaster to work. It has to be dry. So when you keep hopping from men to men, women to women, I'm trying not to sound vulgar, but you know how like when a wound is not dry, the opposite of dryness. So when you're hopping and hopping and hopping, you are forever toxic. I don't want to use the exact word, but it's the opposite of dry. You are forever toxic, and so nothing can stick. Nothing can stick because you keep oozing. You know, and so that's that. So that's that point. Now, another reason why that I wrote down from my observation why people struggle before they get married is social anxiety. Which of course is still ties into number one, because if you were raised in a home where you were raised to be confident, you were raised to be assertive, you're not going to struggle with social anxiety. You know, so we have people who don't know how to look you in the eye. They don't know how to start a conversation.
Yeah.
So how on earth are you going to go out on a date if you're scared of people? There are people who are genuinely scared of people. They can't leave the house because somebody is going to hurt them. Somebody is going to kill them. Somebody is going to beat them, or they're going to be kidnapped, or they're going to be hurt, or they're going to be lied to. You know, they catastrophize because of the level of number one.
Yeah.
So it still ties down to number one. Another reason is fear of commitment. Still ties down to number one.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I would rather love you to this extent. How about we just stay engaged forever? There are relationships like that. They are engaged. In fact, there is a new law in New York. I think like it's a domestic partner. Like it's an actual like commitment. Like it's a form. Like it's a certificate.
Wow.
It's a domestic partner. So both of you live in the same house, but you're not married, which in Nigeria, that would be like shocking or cohabitating or whatever. But here it is legal, honey. It is legal. So, and because it's legal, people don't go to therapy to take care of their problems.
Yeah.
Because now we've gone around the elephant as usual. And so we have a lot of people who just have convenient relationships.
Yeah.
Very, very convenient. And so when they get married, they can have sex, but the light has to be on. There's stipulations and too many barricades because of your fear of commitment. So right when the relationship is going good, after 3 weeks, something would remind you, hello, this is when you break up with him. It's at this point, it's at this junction that you break up. And it's something called the law of attraction. The moment you start thinking it is going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're just going to keep breaking up and breaking up. The fear of commitment. Another reason is self-neglect. You hate yourself so much that you do not see why you should be loved. Nobody can love you because after all, mom didn't love you. Dad didn't love you. Somebody abandoned you. Somebody left you. Somebody didn't pay you your tuition. Somebody made you feel like dirt. So you don't love yourself. All you know is struggle and struggle and struggle. So you can't even fathom that somebody will want to spend the rest of their life with you. So why waste your time going out on a date? Why? Another struggle is lack of communication. People just don't know how to say, hey, you know, this is not what I want in a relationship. This is how I spend my money. This is how I don't spend my money. These are my boundaries. These are my values. People don't know how to ask those questions because they get scared that the person would leave. And another thing is having a bad attitude. Oh my gosh. There are just too many people walking around with a bad attitude, which still goes down to number one, because it's a defense mechanism. When you see somebody with an ugly attitude, it's all a defense mechanism, because they're trying to heal from number one.
Yeah. And just to jump in there, you know, I was just thinking to myself that when we speak of bad attitude, there's a thought that just came to my mind. Is you don't know who you should behave right at every time. You should ensure to have the right attitude at all times, because you don't know who is your butler, like it was for Joseph in the prison, that will introduce you to your miracle, or the person that you want to marry. Yeah. And because sometimes before people speak they talk to people. You know, somebody could say, oh, you know what, I'm thinking of that girl, you know, I'm thinking she may make a good wife. And then somebody who's probably seen you in a different environment.
Different life.
Yes. And said,
that girl.
Let
me tell you, come.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't know. Because it could be that, okay, maybe you've spoken to a girl and she was considering you seriously, and then she's just having a child. You know, that guy spoke to me. I'm really giving it a serious thought. And then somebody like, that guy, are you for real?
Who has he not tried it with?
Exactly. So I think that is important. And sometimes it could just be that maybe you just exploded in anger somewhere where you could have, you know, exhibited more of self-control, but you didn't.
Yeah.
And so you put out a wrong message. That's probably not really you, but it was just an unguided moment.
Yeah.
And then it's put out a wrong message. Now, we're not saying that, you know, I don't think that you're suggesting, neither we suggesting that, you know, all of these things are the only things that cause us struggle. But there are some people, believe it or not, this is their problem. I'll give an example. I know of a lady some years ago, long before I got married. We've been married now for 12 years. Yeah. And there was a guy who I knew was interested in, I knew was interested in them in marriage. And then this guy, I think, decided that he wanted to take them. He had not said anything to them. He was just trying to get close. And on her birthday, he decided, you know, he wanted to take her out for shopping, and then after that, go for a meal, you know, just like a friend and all of that. So she was excited. So I told a friend of hers, I said, please tell your friend that when this guy takes her out to the shop, she should not go and just start picking everything.
Hey, why?
Yes. She should just pick one thing, just, you know, maybe one of two things. Even if the guy says, oh, you know, get to pick whatever you want, she should not do that. This was my advice. I don't know why I gave that advice. So the friend told her that, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then she went for this outing. By the time they finished in the shop, she had bags of shopping to the point she even picked things for her friends.
Oh my God.
So the money the guy had to pay was not enough. He had to go and get a credit card.
Oh my goodness.
To pay more than and then after that they went for a meal. When they got back, when she brought all the things, the friend was saying, but I told you, why did you do this? You know, She was angry. Oh, you are a joy killer. He said I should pick whatever I want and all of that, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, yeah, that was the last time the guy ever not just took her out, attempted friendship.
Oh my God, that was the end.
That was the end. Few months later, this guy traveled
to his country,
traveled to his home country, to go and find a wife. He had not said anything to her, but I knew that this guy, intention. This move this guy is making, I know there's something. He's been long married with children, I think 2 or 3.
Wow.
Yeah. The lady is still single as we speak.
Wow.
And you can imagine how old she is now. I'm saying this happened long before I married. I was a lot younger than this. So I think sometimes we have to be mindful in our attitude as well, or the kind of vibe that we give away, because you don't know where it can hurt. And it's not just in marriage, even in ministry, even in business, even in any kind of relationship.
So it goes across the board.
Yeah, it goes across the board.
Yeah.
And I think that is very important, that, when I move around, when I am just mindful of my actions and my attitude, and make sure that I am not leaving a place with a foul smell. That the memory that is kept of me in any place where I have been, that is a good one, because you don't know when somebody who was in that environment will need to just put in a statement that can help unlock or open a door for me that nothing else, my fasting and prayer of 40 days and 40 nights would not have opened.
It's true.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Very true.
Let me read some of the comments.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So we've got this is from Aurelie, said she's joining from Dubai. Absolutely. One needs to get whole first before they can pick up someone else's burdens.
That's true. We've not even thought of the fact that what if that other person is coming with hurts and pains, and it'll just be 2 people coming with issues coming together. It's not going to be as healthy as it could be.
Yeah. She also added, most girls find themselves in that predicament. So I think it was
the hopping around.
Maybe the hopping around situation. We have Joanne said, I can relate to this. It's like you are telling my story. I think that's referring to the things you were sharing, Omenesa.
Yeah.
Faith is saying, oh, what's number 1? Sorry, I missed it. So do you want to repeat that?
Oh, well, number 1 is childhood wounds.
Yeah.
Like just being raised in a dysfunctional home, being raised with a lot of rejection, being raised watching your parents just not be parents. Like they're sperm donors, but not parents. Like not parents. So you were raised in a very dysfunctional home, a lot of loudness, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of screaming, a lot of beating, a lot of violence, a lot of neglect and manipulation and abandonment and
that
hunger
can knock you down.
Starvation. Huh?
I said that just beats you down.
Yes. Yeah. All of that molests you and beats you up, and then you're kicked out at 18 or 19 or whenever you go out there, and you are just like somebody who just came out of war.
Wow.
And the world is also waiting to beat you up.
Beat you up, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So you have a warped mentality.
Yeah. And then Mary Christopher said, wow, your healing process is very important. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You need to be whole, to be able to take someone in. I think sometimes the people who think that, he's coming into my life or she's coming into my life to fix me. You know, but you need to be fixed.
They're not gods, though.
Yeah, because they're not God. Yeah, so you need to have God fix you so that you can enjoy a relationship
with someone else.
Yeah.
This is a joke that I tell all of my clients. If you go into a relationship to save somebody, remember that the Savior was crucified.
Exactly.
That's true. And Sylvie said, to heal a wound, you need to stop touching it.
Yes, it's true.
Oh, that's so powerful.
That's really
she said,
good.
Practically touching it, stop talking about it. Yeah.
It's true.
So if you really want to heal a wound, then stop touching it.
Revisiting it every second. Oh, that's how this happened. Oh, that's how that happened. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And then Ebere, you want to read this?
Okay. She said, good evening. I found in my own experience, these are the things that stop or hinder people from getting married. 1, unrealistic expectations, just
That's
like
true.
you said before.
Yeah.
2, choosing the temporal things such as looks over good and godly character.
Yeah.
Definite. 3, indiscipline and promiscuity. Definitely.
Yeah.
Number 4, mothers. Hold on, let me read it from this one.
Yeah.
Mothers have very good intentions. However, some are unknowingly ruining their children's opportunities for marriage by way of archaic or bad advice.
Oh,
yeah, it's true. I think the things that she's touched there are very powerful.
Yeah.
You know, unrealistic expectations. And I think we touched that a bit in part one. Yeah, where you are, you know, if the list and the picture of the man that you are expecting to have as a husband, or the picture of the woman that you must be this, must be that, must be this, it must have this shape and have that. If that picture is put together,
it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, or it may become a demon. It's an unrealistic, you know, expectation. So, and she talked about people choosing temporary things such as looks over good and godly character. And I find that a lot, even as a pastor, counseling people, you know, the temporary things that you can easily change.
Yeah.
The temporary things. I'll give you an example. For example, okay, you know, I was preaching before I met my wife. I was wearing suit, which today I probably refer to now as coat. Then,
very big.
Yes, they're very big. Yeah.
So
at that time, now if my wife, you know, now the way he dresses,
But I think, to be fair, there was a time I was like, oh, I don't like the way he dresses.
Yeah, but that didn't that was not. Yeah, that was not
enough.
It's something that you knew
it can change.
It can change.
Yeah.
So I think that sometimes understanding that, and I think that point is really it's hindered a number of people from getting married, because you're looking at your priority are things that can easily change.
Exactly.
Yeah. In fact, any lady that you marry, she cannot retain the figure.
We've tried.
And
failed.
The figure in which you met, I said, no, you must have this figure, this, that. By the time she has one child,
even if it's no children,
there is metal. Yeah, there are all kind of hormonal changes that takes place. Some men, you marry the guy, he has a flat tummy. By the time you start giving him unkobi and all of that, you know, something can develop that anytime he wants to hug you, something will hug you first. Before he actually hugs you. So there are things that can change.
Yeah.
And when you make permanent decision over temporary situations, you will be making very big mistakes.
Oh, I love his beard, or I love his
his beard. I like a man that keeps his beard. You know, all of that. I can grow beards. I have a pastor friend of mine who he didn't used to keep beards. Yeah. But for many years, recently, I think from last year, he started growing his beards and shaving off all his hair and all of that. It's a nice look. Yeah. Do you understand? At a point, he put 2 of his pictures and was asking people, which of the 2 looks do you prefer? Some people chose the first one, others chose the second one. So those are things that can change. Yeah. And I think that is important that people, you know, that we make that. But someone asked this question, which I think, and she said, you know, what if past trauma aren't an issue? It's simply because you have not met the right destined partner.
There is no such thing as the right or wrong person. You choose a person. You choose. You like you see somebody and you choose them. So because there is no perfect person. So like there's no such thing. So like I remember like how my husband and I like my husband would I wish that I married so and so and so because she could do da 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 da. And then I'll be like, okay, well, but would you be enjoying da 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 da?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Because she didn't come with that package.
Yeah.
And whoever was chasing me before my husband, like he didn't come with the package that I have now, because with the package I have now, I get to come to London anytime to minister. There are men who would never allow their woman leave the house.
Yeah.
In this 2021.
That's true.
So everybody has their own demon. Everybody has their own weakness. There's no such thing as the wrong and the right person. You become the right person, and then you make a decision. When you become the right person, you will act right in the marriage.
Yeah. So really,
there's no such thing as the right or wrong person.
I think it's like what we were, I don't know if it was, the both of us were having this conversation about the fact that love in itself,
it's not enough.
It's not a feeling.
All right, yeah.
Love is a decision.
Yeah, sacrificial. Yeah.
Yes, love is a decision. Yeah, we were having that conversation and we were saying that if you think about it, Jesus loved the word. If it was based on his feelings, he would have given up because he was saying, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass away from me. That was his feeling.
Yeah.
But not my will, but your will be done. It's a decision. So I think some people think, oh, you know, I'm just going to meet this guy or meet this lady and my heart is just going to start pumping, and it's just going to be pumping for the rest of my life, you know, with all these feelings, because that's what movies and romantic novels has painted out.
And they lived happily ever
after. But many times that's just infatuation.
Fairy tales. Yeah.
Infatuation.
Yeah.
Because true love is a decision. Yeah. Where you come to a point where you decide, I am going to love this person.
Yeah.
I'm not with my wife today just because of what I feel for her. Is a decision.
Yeah.
So true love, and when we look at scripture, it said, for God so loved the world that. So he chose to love the word, not because the word was perfect. So I think that we need to begin to understand that, and then it helps us, our minds, to know that, well, I'm not perfect. There's no one who is perfect out there. And I have to, yes, I should follow Bible standards, not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers, and someone who has a vision, who is going somewhere that I can partner with and we can fulfill destiny and all of that. But at the end of it, it's a decision.
Yeah.
It is not a perfect being. It is that you have decided that this is the person for me. And, you know, you can go to God with that decision and God can guide your decision because you have the Spirit of God in you, and the Spirit of God, obviously, if it's like you're having a conversation with yourself, the Spirit of God in you is part of that conversation in reaching that decision. So I think that's very important. We've got loads of comments. Let me just try and see how much we can read.
This conversation's gone quick. We've got don't have much
8
time
minutes
left,
to go.
But
all right. So this one said, this is Faith Misrael said, I faced rejection from the womb. My mother wanted to terminate the pregnancy.
And told you about it
and
as well.
told her about it. You know, I don't know if it's her or him, but told them about it. You can imagine that. So you always live in feeling they didn't really want me.
Yeah.
Or said get hit first. Yeah.
Well, God has a purpose. God has a plan.
Yeah, you're not a mistake.
Here for a very important reason.
That's true.
If you are not meant to be here, you won't be. But you're here because there's an important assignment that only you can achieve. So, you know, whatever. Just shrug it off your shoulders and move on.
Glory said, letting go of old hurts would require a conscious effort in order to move on. Yeah. So it's not just gonna happen. Conscious effort. Or again, say materialism is another barrier to getting married.
I think the person has. What can they?
What they? I think that's a big one. I mean, I know our time is limited. Do you want to, take a minute and talk on that materialism?
Being materialistic.
Looking for a sugar daddy or a sugar baby. It's to feel secure, because once again, you are insecure. So you have to have brand names, and you have to look for somebody who would pay all of your bills, and you have to look for a king on a white horse. So all of that does not exist. Like there are some women or some men who would cheat on their wives, but they would never leave the wife. Because they know who started with them. Men, people in general, but men love it when you walk with them in the process, when you were hungry together, when you starved together, when you build together. So if you go after a man who is so rich, that's not a guarantee that you're going to see the money, because there are people who also have a poverty mentality. Where they have so much money, but they can't give. So what are you going to do now? When you do get married and he doesn't give you money, but he has money. So you can't go after his or her money, or after the brand names, or after the porch, or after all of those temporal things. You have to go after the heart. You have to go after the heart. So, which also brings me to what I answered to the other lady about just making a decision. I'm not telling you to just make a stupid choice. I mean, like, you can't just see an armed robber and marry him. No. But what's happening is you're not just marrying a person, you're marrying the heart. You're marrying the heart of the person. You're marrying their personality. And that's why it's always good to take time to get to know somebody, so the real person would show up.
I was going to ask, this thought just come to my head. Lockdown is happened. And now, no one's going out to meet with people, blah, blah, blah. How do you meet people? I'm a young girl. I'm a young girl. I mean, I'm in lockdown. I mean, we've been on lockdown since early last year. Around this time last year, for us here in the UK, lockdown happened. So how do you meet people now?
You got to be open to dating sites. There are many good dating sites. There are very good dating sites.
Everything's
the same
online.
Way that you meet people on Facebook and you connect with business is the same way that you connect with somebody.
But again, I think that's important. I don't want what
that's
I'm about.
Massive topic for another day.
I think
because they're showing you what they want you to see.
Yes, because I don't want this to be a put off for people meeting people online.
You do meet people.
But I wanted to share. I wanted to share this. I think that people even have to be smarter now if you're meeting people online, because they showing you the picture of what they want you to see. I'll give you an instance. I counseled a lady some years ago, and
so before lockdown, yeah.
Oh yeah, long before lockdown. She met this guy online, and they got chatting and everything, and then the things really progressed that they were already talking marriage and everything. And she was planning to go and visit him to spend some time with him. Then somehow the guy's mother stumbled into the chats and all of that.
Yeah.
So the guy's mother reached out to the lady and said, just to I stumbled into this, blah 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 blah. Please, I don't want someone else to lose their life. Yeah. Because my son, who he's got, I don't know if it's a psychopathic issue or something, and he killed his first wife.
Wow. And did she know that? She didn't know, obviously.
This lady?
Yeah.
No, she didn't know that.
Wow.
She didn't know that. So she's meeting this person that appears as an angel, but actually has, if you like me, mental health issue. That so the mother was, cautioning, advising her. And I can see that you're planning to come to spend some time with him, blah blah blah. I want the best for my son, but I have to pre-warn you of this. So I think just again, somebody hears that. And
that's
like,
it.
That's it. No, nothing online. That's not what I'm saying. It's just being careful, because again, some people, you hear of a plane crash somewhere. Does that mean we won't board planes again and travel? No, but you just being cautious. Or there are road accidents happening every time, but we still get in cars and drive. But you're just learning and being mindful. I mean, we are overloaded with, comments. Can I read a few before we wrap up?
I've got one here from
from
FMC Facebook. So Jane says it's scary for dating online due to safeguarding.
Yeah.
So I think she's hammering on
what? Yeah.
It's scary.
Chipo said first impression plays a big part. I know of someone who told a guy, if you want to talk to me, put money in Western Union first.
Hey.
That was around 2006, and she is still single up till now. I mean, look at that.
Well, is she? I don't even know what to say. Obviously, she will be single up until now.
2006. How many years is that?
That's many years.
Is that 15 years?
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe the guy is married. Western Union is still existing. They've not closed down. It was like Western Union was going to close down in 2006. So put money there first before you talk to me. Wow. Okay. Traditions and culture are also hindrances to marriage. So true. Yeah. So true. Great comment, guys. Hold on. Good answer. There's no perfect partner. Barry said, love is a decision and commitment to do the right thing in accordance with the word of God. So true. So true. Faith Mistress said, exactly. There are men who don't want you to do anything, friends or ministry or singing.
Yeah. Or
they are satisfied with you being their wife. So I think when you were talking about the package, yeah. So would you like the full package? Because everyone's got their own full package. Yeah. So the package you're getting, both parties have to agree on the commitment required to have a workable union.
Yeah.
Hollywood, Nollywood, Bollywood, and Disneyland romance and fairy tales always end up in a very expensive divorce.
It's very true. It's very true. Very lavish wedding day and a very expensive divorce. Yeah.
All right. This was a very good talk, man. Great.
Yeah.
Pussy Praise said dating sites are awful.
Oh.
Not all.
I've never been to the dating sites
Yeah.
before. Well, I have no need to, and I have no
Tell
need
that
to.
person to contact me, and I'll give you a good one.
Okay.
I can vouch for a very good one.
All right, I know them, so I will try. We'll get that.
Or maybe you send it through. We'll send it to them.
Yeah, send it through to us. And then we'll send it to them. Oh,
Yeah.
great. All right. This one said dating site can be misleading. It's true. It's true. And lockdown is a great time to read and build your character.
Yeah.
Yeah. And prepare yourself, because lockdown won't be forever. You know,
there will be a time when they come out.
Yeah, I mean, the UK, they're already talking about, they're going to start easing things out. So it's a good time to build yourself and prepare that when you come out, when everybody's coming out to look at what they have been missing, you'll be shining the most. And, like, hey, I've not seen such a beauty for a long time, such great character, such personality, such,
You took it, like you're saying, with the past hurts and everything, you took out that time to work on you.
Yeah.
Perfect you. I think you were talking about before, you're looking for a perfect package. I think you were talking about it.
Yeah.
And when you was talking, I was thinking, okay, you're looking for a perfect package, but are you a perfect package?
Yeah.
You yourself, are you a perfect package for somebody else? So take out that time, use the time to work on you. This is me time. I'm gonna, equip myself. I'm gonna empower myself. I'm gonna, lift myself out of this dunghill and be something, worthy of whatever it is you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Some Christians have fallen prey to the Christian dating lines. They got married and found out that their spouses were already married in their own home countries. Oof. Wow. All right.
I mean,
no, it happens though.
Yeah, it does
happen.
To lead you. Not to say that you weren't led by God in the first place, but sometimes there's also red flags. Some people are
just wicked.
Yeah, some people are wicked. It's bad. But sometimes as well, there are some red flags,
yeah,
that
and don't ignore them. And that's why I think when we were growing up as children, and I'm sure Omenesa, you probably would remember this as well. When someone's to marry, the family will go and investigate the other family. It's like their own traditional way of searching out what is behind this person, what is behind this family. Yeah. It's like when you're buying a property, the solicitors will do searches.
They'll do
surveys and all of that, just to make sure that you are not signing up for something that it's on
a coal mine or something.
Exactly.
It's on a quarry or something that's ready to collapse.
Yeah. All right, we'll take this as a final one. Interesting subject. Can we have a session about how to overcome such childhood experiences? Okay, something for us to I think we would take that. I think we'll stop with that comment because our time is up.
Okay, but we want to appreciate every single person that sent in a comment, whether we read it, whether we didn't. Your comments have really made everything colorful. And all of you that have joined in from all over the place. I've got on Faith Miracle Church Facebook. I've got Pichu, who said he's joining all the way from Manchester, and he's just loves to be with us. So God bless you, bro Pichu. God bless everyone that's joined in, and for all your comments. They've all been a blessing. And obviously, thank you ever so much to Omenasa. What do we say to her, guys? If we can have hearts or whatever that's going off wherever you are. She has been an absolute blessing. She was throwing all the different things. I'm sure there's like a more, because it's like your list was sounding like like categories. Let me tell you, phase 1 is this, phase 2 is this. So she was throwing it out, but it was such a blessing. Every point was valid. Every point you could probably...
I can see the hearts going up.
Yeah.
They're popping the hearts everywhere.
So, you can see that it really was a blessing, because the points that she raised and the self-reflection, sometimes it's nice to hear things, but when it touches you personally, and you can relate to it, and you can reflect on it, and you can, you know, take initiative and work on whatever area it is that was raised today. Like we said, Talk with the Missus is a conversation, but it's also a blessing, a platform to be a blessing, to help people individually and wholesomely, so that we can be able to you know, improve and grow and be the best us that we can ever be. So God bless you. And Minister Omenasa, has been a joy. I'm sure the Mister has a lot to say.
Thank you so much for, you know, joining us today. During our last broadcast on this show 2 weeks ago, we promised the audience that we would bring in a guest to join us, because we started this conversation then, and we thought, you know what, let's bring in someone to join in and let it be a three-way talk online, obviously feeding off the audience as well. And I think it's just been an absolute pleasure to have you, the things you've shared, you know, and just flowing naturally with the conversations, like you've been here before. It's like you're part and parcel of the Talk with the Missus team. So God bless you. You're doing a great work. You know, you're a strong woman. You are doing, I mean, you're doing a lot. You're working. You are a singer. You are a TV presenter. You are, you know, a preacher. You are a nurse. I mean, I see that you're making some things as well. I mean, where do you stop, girl?
But how can people connect with you? What's your social, so that people that want to reach out and all of that, they can, or start following you, liking you and all that? How can they do that?
Well, you can definitely connect with me on Instagram. Instagram is OMENESA_PEARLS. That's Omenesa_Pearls Instagram. And I opened a university last year. It's called Emotional Healing University. And that's my baby. And I'm just like so grateful. Like, we started with 12 people. No, we started with 30 people, and now we have over 250 people.
Wow.
And so you can find that Emotional Healing University, and that's on Facebook. And of course, my full name is on there, and just put that in on Facebook and you see me.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been a great joy having you. And it's afternoon. There is night here. So hope you get some sleep. Haven't not slept preparing for this. Haven't walked through the night, and then you know, God bless you. We love you. We appreciate you, and I'm sure we'll have you again. You know, on Talk with the Missus. And you know, maybe to deal with those. Someone asked that question about how do you overcome those emotional
the childhood wounds.
The childhood ones. God bless you. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye now. All right, guys. So thank you. It's been an interesting one. Great to have had all of you with us. I'm going to let the Missus tell you about what's coming up tomorrow.
Okay.
And then also, you know, urge you to subscribe, follow us, and then we'll be wrapping up.
Okay, so God bless everyone. Like we keep on saying, it's been such an awesome and wonderful time. Tomorrow we are back again, 6 a.m. My glory days are here. Day 4. So 4 stands for day 4. And that's happening on And Zion Prevail Online Prophetic Prayers. 6 a.m. That's GMT. So in places like Nigeria, that's 7 a.m. Eastern time, that's 1 a.m. So wherever it is that you are, Dubai, Singapore, Switzerland, all the different places that were on board tonight, please find the time in your area and be on board. We have seen God do so many amazing, mighty, mind-blowing things, you know, and we want you to be part of that as well. So your glory days are here. My glory days are here. Let everybody's glory days be here. Join tomorrow, 6 a.m. And like the Mister said, do like and subscribe. My youngest son, he calls it, what does he say? He says,
like and ascribe, but nice to
no, he doesn't say laugh. Yeah, he says laugh and ascribe. He's 5, but he knows he's not saying it right. He wants to make you laugh. So he says, laugh and ascribe. So anyway, like and subscribe to our 2 YouTube channels. That's FMC TV and Pastor Moses GCF. Do click on the notification bell. You never know when it's such an amazing program that will be a blessing to your life and transformation, change to your life. So do click on that notification bell, so you will be one of the first people to be in to know when we are live and when we've got something new on the channel. And it's free, so you got no excuse. You got no excuse. Just like it. You just click the bell. It's an exercise, small, very small exercise, finger exercise. The one soon they'll have like finger exercise for like your Olympics, because we do a lot of scrolling with on tablets, on phones, even laptops now are touch screens. So soon there will be a finger exercise. So be one of the first ones to be a master of that finger exercise and click the subscribe button. God bless you.
Thank you, guys. It's been a joy having you. Talk with the missus. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know what topic we'll be discussing then. Hope you've enjoyed today. And we pray for everyone who is having a struggle in getting married. God will settle you miraculously.
Amen.
And whatever God needs to do, in your life, he will do it.
And the inside wounds, the Lord will heal each and every one of them.
In the name of Jesus. Amen. All right. Thank you for being part of today. God bless you.
God bless you. Bye-bye.